Welcome back to Orwell Ignorance is Strength. We are right at the end of day two, where we uncovered as much as we could about all the details here. I mean, I I think I summarized it pretty well, more or less, in the last episode. The ups and downs of that entire day. This is really a mess for a bunch of reasons. There's a lot of things I don't really agree with from a narrative and gameplay perspective on how they're insisting this unfold, and the I don't know. It feels a little like the whole thing is shoehorned into the framework of the first game, when really they wanted to tell, at least for this day, a narrative about uncovering. This could be like a private investigator thing or something like that, where you're investigating the infidelities of somebody or something like that. This all feels like a This whole day felt like a distraction, to be totally honest, about the actual important things that an evil fascist spy agency would get up to. Why do we care? Like I said, the idea that we derailed the entire plot against the neighboring country's president to say some slightly slanderous things on a fringe website by exposing the fact that the author's wife was sleeping with his brother is like so over the top. It's melodrama. So let's get on to day 3 and see if things are a little bit more clear. If the whole thing is resolved and Raban just keeps on, which appears to be what he's doing anyway, like it says here, he planned to revoke defamatory article if feels responsible for what happened to his school. He would be discouraged and unsure about his course of action. Well, I mean, he still said, like, this is, a distraction and they're trying to, derail me and stuff, didn't he? That was my memory of it. How long has it been? It's been a couple of weeks since I last played this, but anyway, it doesn't feel like anything was really accomplished other than to tear this family apart. Now, like I said, I hate a cheater and, deserves to be exposed, but not for the reasons of an evil government spy agency. Anyway. Episode 3, Synthesis. You're back again, just in time. We have need of you. It is 8 a.m., and I am clocking in, Ampleford. If you needed me at a different time, I don't know what just in time means. I'm being sassy about nitpicking the writing here. You managed to prevent Raban Vart's provocation from ever being published. A good effort, and one that bought us time. Did it? Was it really that much of a threat? You could read his article. It wasn't that much of a threat. It was probably fairly common knowledge. I mean, seeing as he was just searching for stuff a few hours before he was publishing it. In order to take advantage of this situation, Prime Minister Blaine has shifted his schedule to fly out to Tripflith and meet Cassart to calm down the situation permanently. I mean, was it that tenuous in the first place? I don't feel like we got a good hint or suggestion that it was really that rocky. Like, by all accounts, yes, he's a puppet, but that's a pretty established relationship and he seems to be okay with it. It was much more impactful at the end of day 1 to have special forces in the neighboring country executing their citizens. That was kind of a problem. Why is that not the more concerning thing? Or is that what they're referring to here? If it is, they're not making that clear. Raban Vart might have taken a severe blow, but he is far from giving up. Instead, he fired shots. See for yourself. Yeah, no shit. Did you really think... Did he come across as a person who really cared that much about his familial relationships in the first place, let alone that it would stop him or break him emotionally enough to make him not want to do his like life's work of you know, stirring up rebellion. I mean, this is not Ampleford. You and this entire department do not seem to understand anything about extremely basic psychology. War is inevitable. They are out to discredit me and bring down what the people's voice stands for, but we are stronger. Let me reread this real quick again. I mean, he sounds kind of crazy here, but this is like, yeah, skimming over this. It's just, he's just saying, yeah, they're mad. They're mad because I'm right. All right, war is inevitable. They are out to discredit me and bring, but okay. War is not over. A strong group of supporters. You got like 3 dudes and you're getting bullied on Twitter. Declare war on the government of the nation. Why aren't you just ignoring this guy? The fact that you're taking this guy this seriously, like, he doesn't, yes, he's a loud and, you know, countercultural individual. But if you actually, here's the thing, if you want to run a totalitarian government or some other situation where you are trying to be in excessive control of people, then the way to silence your opposition is not to, like, not to get anxious about every single thing they say. Yes, discrediting is a very smart move if you can do it reasonably, but like saying, oh, his wife and brother were sleeping together is not discrediting. That's just a deflection. But if you can say, oh, he's got this background and this background, and he's like, here's these things he wrote before that show that he can't even stand on his own morals or whatever. Those are way better, way more effective ways rhetorically to discredit somebody. And then these last 2 articles, in fact, are huge ammunition to discredit him. In fact, like, I think I said that in one of the last episodes too. Like, this was, our actions on day 2 were not very effective in the silencing him way, but they are effective by accident, really, because he's already a volatile character. They are effective at agitating him and making him blow up even further. And if you can spin that to make him look crazy, some of the people who were on the cusp of not, like, maybe agreeing with him but not entirely supporting all of the things he says or how he says it sometimes, this is, if you want to counter somebody like this, and this, you know, goes both ways regardless of whether you're on the establishment side or the counterculture side, like, rhetorically, you break down their own words. You don't, you know, deflect. You don't like bring up a bunch of new accusations. You let them bury themselves with their own words. And so, like, these last 2 articles are like this is a joke. This should be a joke. This should be going into the national newspaper as like a minor column where you basically make fun of him and say, like, what are you going to do? All of your articles are just tabloid nonsense you've copy pasted from other places. You're scrounging for something to do with your life because you feel like your life is falling apart. Like, that's, if you want to rhetorically tear somebody down, that's how you do it. You don't get concerned that he's going to insult the neighboring president. If the neighboring president is a puppet and he's that sensitive, you replace him. Because if some random blogger is enough to like disrupt the relationship between 2 countries, one of which is the president of the or is the puppet of the other, like, then you weren't standing on solid ground in the first place. You had the wrong people in the wrong places, and you didn't have any control over the situation. This is ridiculous. It's so over the top. It's really pathetic. Avert catastrophe at the Circle Mart. I think this is again just a reference to things that happened in the other game that we helped avoid make happen. Yeah, I vaguely remember this article as well. I don't remember much though. How long ago did I play that? Why is this still telling me there's something to see here? Oh, I guess this too. Lawsuit against director. Why is this important information? This is the 50 Shades of Grey knockoff they're doing. Okay, why did you guys keep discussing this? Oh my god, okay. I'm so sorry about what happened. I have the foggiest notion who posted this bloody picture. It's not your fault. It was me who wanted that picture taken in the first place. God, that was so stupid. I'm really sorry. Yeah, like I was saying the other day, shouldn't have posted it even to a private website. Like, even if you think it's private, even if you think you are the only person who can see it, if it's sensitive, don't put it anywhere. Or, you know, put it in a way that's actually safe. I know that most people are fairly ignorant of basic data security practices, but at the very least, like, you'd think, I would hope that people understand that if you upload a file to a place that you do not control, then you no longer control what happens to that file. And at best, you hope that your trust in that system is not misplaced. Anyway. It's okay, Karen. We wanted this together. What are you up to now? You're not going home, are you? I need to. No, please don't. After this, I'm not sure what he will do. Ilya, what's the worst that can happen? He would never be violent to me. You know that. And you know that my offer still holds. Don't you? Dewhurst is beautiful around this time of year. Oh my god. Maybe not the time for wooing. Yeah, I got that flyer you sent me, and it's beautiful for sure. But I told you I just can't leave Bonton. Okay, I've got to go now. I'm not sure I'll be able to get back to you on here. Keep your head down. All right, drop me a message in case anything goes wrong. Raban knows anyway. The best of luck to you. Okay, so that's the end of that. It's a very weird thing that it's chronological from top to bottom, but then reverse chronological day by day. Remove contributor status from 3 people. From Ilya, Daniel, and Sean. I don't know who Daniel and Sean are. I assume they are... Let's see. Oh, so he's the only one left. It's still... Well, I guess they just didn't update this page, but this page should now say that they're not present, but okay. Also, it says, strictly speaking, it says that you removed contributor status from the 3 of them, but Ilya is listed as an admin. So you didn't remove admin status, you removed contributor status. So if we're being nitpicky, he still has admin and probably can give himself contributor back. So this is still pending. Scheduled for... Well, it says it's scheduled, but it didn't go. So why is it still here? Anyway. Is that it? That's all we got? Okay, well, I guess we'll start uploading this information. Are these all... I guess they're all the same item. Could it be that our actions caused a bit of trouble among the ranks in the People's Voice? Good. I mean, as far as we saw, like, the other articles were not nearly as inflammatory anyway. And if it's just the government being fussy about the, you know, the most inflammatory articles, then I guess it's a success. Which article was this for? This was for last night's? Hold on. I don't like how it reorganizes this. Yeah, this was last night's article that has this is last night's article, and the comments are on that one. Wait, are these internal? Yeah, okay, so yeah. Wait, why did we not see these until now? Again, this is the game hiding things until I put the right things in the logs. Because these messages are from last night. And this is, I guess, because this is in the admin, that it's supposed to be a back-end message. No longer a group of journalists. Mouthpiece for egocentric maniac. Yeah, it has been for a while, my guy. You are such a coward, you always have been. Good one, Raban. You're really making friends and influencing people. So, seriously insulting our staff, what kind of leader are you? You don't think we should... It's relevant to upload this to say, like, this is... Again, this is indicator of his, like, volatility. And if you have access to these logs... I mean, you don't... If you're the totalitarian government, you don't have to explain how you got the logs. You just say, oh, look at it. Look at him yelling at his friends because he's going crazy. You know? If you want to discredit him, it's the way to go. So that was just for flavor. It wasn't even a thing we could put in. I don't want to put this in. I declare war is so freaking stupid. And I don't know where the other side of this is, so... Is there nothing else we can put in, though? Is there a way to skip time? Because nothing... I already uploaded everything. I don't want to upload this one because I don't know where the conflict is. Although this seems like it's probably true, unless she has yet another set of ulterior motives we know nothing about. I don't know why she would lie to Ilya. Do I seriously have no other option than to upload? Whatever. Well, they love inflammatory shit, so I guess we'll do this. War, can you believe it? Who does this prick think he is? He's nobody. Ampleford, is this even a mission, or are you just like... Are you just taking this personally yourself? Agent, this has to end today. Vart will no longer undermine the peace in neither Pargis nor the nation. That's a very awkward phrasing, but sure. If it's war he wants, we can accommodate him. We have our own arsenal, the likes of which Vart doesn't dare to dream about. When Orwell was created, the office requested a number of additional features beyond the day-to-day tasks of investigators. Oh boy. Some top-level government members objected. They had the obnoxious idea to integrate an ethical codex into Orwell, limiting its capabilities. And let me guess, you can turn that off. Naturally, this would not do for us. We are the nation's wardens, and we won't be restricted by some arbitrary set of rules. Sounded very, very evil there. So we found a way, as we always do, to develop a branch of the Orwell project, the very piece of software we're using now. Okay, so you've got normal branch and evil branch. Got it. Time to make use of its full potential. Oh. Behold, the influencer, the centerpiece of our very own version of Orwell. Not even the government has a clue this thing exists. It can spread a story through social media channels efficiently and thoroughly, and I am putting you in charge of it. First, we need a thesis, a key statement which Raban made in his latest article. How is this your evil plan? Your evil plan is to write subversive, like, propaganda in social media? You were already doing that with your fucking Twitter bot. That was, like, very clearly a Twitter bot trolling him on Twitter and goading him to be angry and be embarrassed. Wait, why is... okay, whatever, sure. I don't know why that didn't show up before. The government dragging his family into the conflict, they should have clearly opposed Raban's actions and nothing would have happened. That's very victim-blamey, but yeah, okay, sure, whatever. What else is new? Well, we will counteract this claim accordingly. Let me set that in the influencer. The government... okay. Well, here we go. Here's how this thing works. We can't simply make up and randomly spread stuff. Instead, I need you to get me palpable information which can be used to counter Raban's statement. From pairs of data chunks that create a certain context together, I can construct a narrative which can then be spread in the influencer. So find me data chunks to construct a narrative from. With the thesis set in the influencer, new data chunks may be discovered in old documents or call transcripts. Take a look around. Oh boy. Alright. Feels like a little bit late to be implementing this in the game. I don't know how many days are in this game, but I guess we'll find out. So why... why are you sending me back here? Okay. This has something? This is your ammunition? This is a random angry shout that he said on a phone call? How is that discrediting him? Of all the things he said, this is what you want to latch onto? That's embarrassing. Man, this is... For the evil spy agency, this place is not good at its job. My, why would anyone be enraged about... why would anyone be enraged about such a bagatelle? I don't know what that word is. Hold on. An unimportant or insignificant thing, a trifle. Is it Italian? Where is this from? French. It's French? French from Italian bagatella. First known use 1633. Alright, well. Yeah, Ampliford, I don't know why you know that word or why you're trying to use it, but go on. Does it hurt when your own reality proves to be fake, Vart? Be that as it may, we can surely utilize this circumstance for our own good. It's not strong enough to keep on its own, though. Keep looking for something to reinforce this face with. But we already have so much information. I've been talking about it for episodes now, about how we have so much to discredit him with if we wanted to. So am I looking for another marker? Oh. Why is this red but it's not? More UI bugs in this terrible UI. That's cool. If you're not willing to go all the way with me, you are against me. You've been in my way for far too long already. Buddy, you run a blog. It's not that serious. Raban is becoming more and more unhinged, sensing betrayal around every corner. First, he wants nothing to do with his wife any longer, now this. One could easily get the idea that Raban Vart's family members aren't quite as important to him as he claims. Yeah. Is that not fucking obvious? I've been saying that for a long time, Ampleford. You're just not listening. Let me compose a narrative from what we got. I don't trust you to compose shit. But go on. Oh, God. Agent, the first narrative is ready to be spread through the influencer. To do so, drag it into the slot in the influencer window and confirm. Using the influencer is extensive and takes about an hour of time to complete. We'll only get very limited chances of spreading narratives today. Make sure they count. Are you telling me that I have to sit here doing nothing else in Orwell while that runs? That's going to burn a whole hour? However, I should probably warn you, what's out there is out there forever, and information can be a most devastating weapon. You don't say. Now, if you'd do the honors. This is... Huh? Save Karen and Ilya, how Raban Vart is terrorizing his wife and brother after he learned of their affair. This is not even a good... I keep saying it, I'm going to say it again. This is a terrible way to discredit him. If you want to show his volatility, don't attach it to the fact, don't attach it to people that people might feel bad for. Ignore the family, ignore the coworkers. It's set for where it's entirely necessary for the narrative. Show how he is being, crazy and unreasonable, and that will do all the damage possible. This is petty. This is like us trying to break up their familial relationship worse, which is not what the primary objective is, at least. And like I've been saying, I really do not like cheaters. So there are going to be a lot of people like myself who would read this rather than thinking, read an article like this, and rather than thinking about how Raban is awful and these two people should be saved, would be thinking, oh, these two people are also awful for sleeping with each other, instead of, ever being honest about their goings on. So everybody involved is a shithead, and then I would just ignore it, This is dumb, but go on. Is this gonna jump me straight to 950? Profiler not functioning during influencer use. I know that I shouldn't expect them to have a really sophisticated, in a game like a small indie game like this, to have a really sophisticated understanding of how something like this should work from a technological standpoint or a rhetorical standpoint, but I expect better than this. Like, nothing we've done in this game has really been, with the sole exception of being able to get inside people's personal devices using their ID numbers. Pretty much everything else we've done in this game is something that a totally normal, freelancer could have done with no special equipment, right? It's all social engineering and connecting data points and all that stuff. And if you want to spread propaganda about or a smear story or whatever, there's any number of examples you can use in real world, whether it's like tabloids or whatever else, to just be like, yeah, this is how, if you want to discredit people, if you want to embarrass them, if you want to paint them in a certain light, and undermine how they appear in the public, there's lots of ways that are totally legal, and I mean, they're pretty evil, but like completely legal and not that hard to do. And you don't need some special supercomputer bot whatever that takes an hour of your time and leaves you unable to do anything else to spread misinformation. You could just drop this shit on, Twitter and Facebook and the, whatever else, all the analogs here. And it would spread because, well, if you write a good enough article, then it spreads on its own. Or you could just promote it. It doesn't require special evil equipment. But when you also run a lot of those websites or have, we've established that a lot of these companies that control these media are either are the government or are run by people who are directly related either by blood or money to the government. So like it doesn't require some sophisticated evil algorithmic thing that the government the politicians didn't like when you told them about it. It's very silly. The first information spread by your command alone. It's a beautiful thing, the destruction of truth, isn't it? The destruction of truth? That's the most self-damning thing you've said this entire time, Ampleford. So you recognize that there is... Because most of Ampleford's rhetoric has been as like the loyal to the party type of, collaborator in a repressive political environment, right? Somebody who is a true believer in the cause despite any evidence, like very glaring, clear evidence that evil is evil, and that lies are being told. And this is very telling that suddenly she's like, yeah, we're just lying. But it's also, so that messes up her characterization. It also doesn't make sense for the context. Because this could have just as easily been a genuine, like, concerned citizen writing an article that goes, hey, I used to read the People's Voice and I followed, such and such people there, and now they're having relationship problems, and it sure looks like I saw on their social media that they seem to be fighting. That seems bad. This isn't even untruth. It's not destroying any truth. It's just saying things that are already out there. What a weird line. I believe we pulled the right strings here. I don't. People who have swallowed the bait, as you can see on Blabber. We had some good impact on his listener count. I have no doubt Raban won't let go so easily. I wouldn't be surprised to see an appropriate response from him soon. Perhaps you can find out what he is up to before he is actually publishing it. Yeah, we can check his drafts like we always do, Ampleford. So we can prepare our next narrative beforehand. Not a period, not a capital, not even a comma. Anyway. Really? We just watched his influence go down in real time? Okay. Whatever. Draft. Destroy the media monster. These awful creatures who cannot be considered human are trying to damage my family members in order to get to me. They cannot tear us apart. Don't write an article then. Go apologize to Ilya and Karen. Is that her name? I forgot her name now. And even if you don't believe it, like, save face with them so that you can get your affairs in order. Because if you're just trying to meet, from Raban's perspective, if Raban's just trying to meet aggression with aggression, then of course the government's gonna win. I mean, of course he's, volatile and unhinged and clearly has been for a long time, and he's not going to suddenly have a moment of clarity now. Not when he's already dug himself in, but damn. What? Believes his family members to be loyal to him. How is that the reading that you got from this, Orwell? I don't read that at all. I read maybe that he believes his family members should be loyal to him, not that they are. Because we've got a lot of context otherwise it clearly doesn't go with that. Where did this... I'd like to know... I know this is a fairly rudimentary game. We're just flipping through fairly static pages and links, right? But it's just like all with all the blabber things, all we ever see is the responses. We don't see what the article is or anything. And when they have time to write articles about like the 50 Shades of Grey movie, why they spent time writing that instead of writing the actual article that we used, that we spread through Influencer, feels like a huge misallocation of time. Terrorizing your family, you know nothing about my private life. Okay, so you're lashing out to more and more people. I don't know why this is being so effective. I mean, this is just a few individuals, and if you've ever had to be on Twitter for any reason, you know very well that it is always the loudest, angriest few that get the most traction, regardless of how wrong they might be. Wait, hold on. This is kind of wild. I mean, this is basically what I was saying, but in a very weird way of, you know, infidelity is, you know, is terrible on its own. Obviously, I wonder how many of these are supposed to be our own bots, right? Because this could easily be one of our own bots, and so like goading him into doubling down would be an interesting twist if it was one of ours. Well, not a lot to put in. His family is loyal to him. Oh please, I wonder if Urban believes himself what he writes there. In any case, let's see if we can shake up that feeling of loyalty a bit and prove Urban wrong. For himself and for the public. Agent, get me parrot. Oh, this is so much dialogue to tell me what to do. I don't like what they've done with this. The first game was better. Like, I'm just gonna say it out, straight out. It had a clear idea of what it was doing. It didn't overcomplicate it. We didn't have quite this much babysitting as far as I can recall. It was just like an investigative tool with, you know, exposed things and let us, you know, make decisions. This is just melodrama upon melodrama. Get me pairs of data trends from which I can construct narratives that we can spread. Pay attention to anything we might use to put Ilya and Karen's loyalty to him in doubt. I mean, we've got lots of that. I was already saying how that was what we should have been doing from the beginning. Why is this relevant? Did we not have this already? Isn't that this? No, this is her phone. Why does it say desktop? Oh, it's the phone's desktop. Okay. Why did this randomly show up now? Alright, well, whatever. I guess we'll finally have reason to look on her computer, and therefore it needs to show up. Oh, I don't know why I was like not registering this here. Hey, lovely man, how are you? Not so good. What happened? I stood in the lunch line. Why is this a conflict? Oh, this is something else. But still, this is a super old... This is clearly old as hell. This is from years and years ago. Why would we ever care about that? I mean, this would be interesting why he suddenly became happier. I mean, if the implication is just that he started to have feelings for Karen or whatever, then maybe not so much. But I mean, it's at least it could be an edge. Ron got better all of a sudden. Something important must have happened at that time. Okay. What's in your trash? Oh, this was the thing. Why would this be this is the conflict with her not being able to leave? The conflict is literally the thing, the flyer, she got sent it and then she put it in the trash? Why would we ever, why is this even a conflict? Loyalty despite everything that happened, bah, she'd be better off leaving her husband behind. Ampleford, I don't need the commentary from the peanut gallery. They're all shitty, and you are too. Bonvard is doomed. He will go down, and if Karen's still around at that time, so will she. This is a totalitarian regime. They don't care if those people have disconnected. Karen will always be blacklisted from here on out. They're not magically getting better. Or they're not magically forgiving her. Banned access from Ilya? Why did you need to ban access? You should have already removed him. Alright, well... Wait, what else is there? I guess there's the... What else is there to... Oh, there's the other patient report. Hold on. This one is for... Ilya. Okay. Wait, so you had difficulty maintaining your professional distance from 6 years ago? Brother. You really screwed this up from the start. Weird. Okay. Doesn't seem particularly relevant to me. I don't know why any of these are relevant. We know he plays cards. We don't know who that is. Oh, Cassie Watergate? Is that a name? I don't think that's a name we've heard before. Oh, here's the other side of... God, there's so many reasons why we should have had access to his phone before this. Oh, here's Cassandra Watergate. I dream about quitting. Oh, is she's the daughter of the owner or something? So it's privileged life, but she doesn't enjoy it. I mean, we already know these things, but sure. Throw it in there. Not surprising with a brother like that. I could make something of this, but we need a little extra to dramatize the story more. Okay. Blaine cancels meeting for surprise visit. Okay. Why would this be relevant to us? We already have her phone access. Ask Uncle Simos about Captain Ilya Janeway? Like Star Trek Janeway? I mean, this feels like a... We don't have any reference to Simos before, do we? Could be a complete... This could just be like a writing idea. Why would we feel like this is a... Oh, fuck it, whatever. Did it create a new profile? It did. That's all we know, though. Might be nothing still. Oh god, okay, well, that's an unsent draft that I think we're gonna take a little break and then we'll come back and read that. Oh boy, this should be fun. I'm so glad that we're continuing on this trend of digging up personal trash instead of, you know, doing anything meaningful with actual information. I'll see you guys for more of that next time.